Thanks for stopping by mypaperpassion.com. I'm Gabrielle, and today I'm going to be showing you how to create another simple and beautiful greeting card using Stampin' Up stamps. And the inspiration for this card came from a fellow stamper, Alina Kraus, over at Split Coast Stampers. She created a card similar to this, and I wanted to show you today how instead of using pattern paper, designer pattern paper like she did, I wanted to show you how you can create your own designer pattern paper on your cards using stamps. So let's go ahead and get started. Before we do that, I'll show you the stamp sets that I'm going to be using for this particular card. The first one that I'm going to be using is Eastern Blooms, and the second one is God's Blessings. I love both of these stamp sets, and I'm going to incorporate them both in the card. Okay, so the first thing that I did to make my card, I took a 8.5 by 11 piece of cardstock and I cut that right in half. So the dimension of this card, once it's all folded, will be 4.25 by 5.5. I've already scored my cardstock right down the middle here. So once the card is folded, then you'll have the dimensions of the 4.25 by 5.5. I'm going to take my bone folder now and actually just kind of make the crease in the card. So that's the base of my card. Now I'm going to show you how I made the paper that's on the back here. Now looking at it, it looks like this is designer pattern paper, but it's not. I actually used one of my Stampin' Up stamps to make this paper. So I'll show you how I did that. This is the layer of my card here, and this piece measures 4 inches by 5.25. So I took this piece of cardstock, and this is the Bermuda Bay cardstock, Stampin' Up cardstock, and it's from the In Colors collection. What I really love about Stampin' Up is that all of their cardstocks, they have a matching stamp pad that goes with it. So this is the Bermuda Bay stamp pad, ink pad, and what I did, I took my Stampin' Around, and this is just a stamp that's basically on a wheel. And what I did with this, I took the ink, my Bermuda Bay ink. I just really like to make sure that I really ink up that wheel so that I get a nice, good coverage. And now what I'm going to do is just take my Stampin' Round, and I'm going to start from one edge of the card and work my way over to the left. Or if you want to start at the left and work your way all over to the right, it's fine. It's up to you. So I'm simply just pressing it down with lots of pressure so that it comes through nice and clear there. So you can see now what it looks like. And that's the first line. And then you're basically just going to repeat this. So there you go. That's going to be the pattern paper, or my own created pattern paper, and that's going to be the layer portion of my card. What I'm going to do now is take my Eastern Bloom stamp set. This is the stamp that I'm going to be using to make the background for the white piece of paper. And I'm going to use my chocolate chip classic Stampin' Up pad for this one. Like I said, basically what I'm doing is using lots of Stampin' Up on this card. There's my my second piece to my card. All my pieces are there. The dimensions of this piece of cardstock is 2 inches by 3 inches. Okay, so I'm going to take that, and using my God's Blessing stamp set, I'm going to use the one that says, "Blessings brighten when you count them. Thank you for blessing my life in such a wonderful way." I'm going to use my chocolate chip classic Stampin' pad once again for this one. I left the bottom half here empty because I'm going to be tying ribbon around the bottom piece of this cardstock, so that's why I put my stamp closer to the top. So that's all stamped. I'm going to move that to the side. I'm going to be stamping on the Whisper White Stampin' Up cardstock. So for this one, I'm going to be using another one of the In Colors, which is the Melon Mambo ink pad. So I'm going to be doing one in Melon Mambo, and the other one I'm going to stamp in Bermuda Bay. So just stamp it on there, like so. It looks good. Oh, I guess now would be the perfect time to show you my little cleaning tool, since I have to clean this stamp to stamp it in blue. This is my Stampin' Scrub, my Stampin' Up, and it's the best thing. I don't have to go to a sink and wash my stamps off because I just take this stamping mist, I spray it one time on the right, clean my stamp like so, nice and clean, and just on the left side, I just dry my stamp. So my stamp is ready to go, to be used again. Quick and simple. Okay, so my stamp is all clean, and I'm just going to stamp using the Bermuda Bay now. And there you go. I want these to really pop for my card, so what I'm going to do is cut these out with scissors, and then I'm going to place them on my card. Okay, so here are my two colors all cut out, and what I did, I didn't do this on the video, but I used sticky doos from Hobby Lobby to give them some dimension so that when I place them on my card, they'll kind of have a 3D effect. Last but not least, I have one more thing to stamp. I took another piece of Whisper White cardstock, and this cardstock is cut at 4 inches by 5 1/4. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to take that same stamp that I used, this one right here, take my chocolate chip stamp pad once again, ink up the stamp. Now this time I don't really have to ink up the entire stamp because I'm not going to be stamping the entire image on the card. I just want this to kind of peek through in the corner there. So what I'm just going to place it kind of halfway off of the cardstock there. Press that down. And voila, that's my inside of my card. So I have all of my elements here now. And let's go ahead and just put this lovely thing together. Now for this piece here, I don't want to keep, I think I want to round these corners off. And this punch, I got this punch from Hobby Lobby a couple years back, and I don't use it often, but when I do use it, I really do like the effect that it gives. I think it was only a couple bucks, and I always use my coupons for Hobby Lobby. Okay, so I've rounded my corners. Now I'm going to take some ribbon and just tie it to the bottom here. Before I adhere this to my card, I'm going to be putting dimensionals on this part as well. And these are, if you remember, these are the flowers that I stamped and cut out. And I do have the dimensionals already put on those. And I'm just going to place those on my white piece there. Kind of have coming out to the left a little bit so that they don't look like they're too lined up. So this is what we have so far. And finally, last but not least, I'm going to do my inside. What I'm going to do is take my chocolate chip Stampin' Up pad, and I'm just going to run my pad along the edge of this. Okay, so there you have it. That's our Mother's Day card using Stampin' Up stamps. And if you want more inspiration or more ideas, go ahead and check out my website at www.mypaperpassion.com. I hope everyone has a great Saturday, and I'll see you later. Thanks for stopping by.